Hello everyone, this is Orlando from A Collector's Dream, and today I'm going to talk about the 1927 York Caramels, the E210. And the reason I want to talk about those cards is because I saw John Mangini did a little video on that last week, and he talked a little bit about it. I just want to talk a little bit further about that. But before I get into that, I was at a live stream last night with Mitchell, RJ, and Jake. I went ahead and posted that White Sox card collector, White Sox fan card collector. Not showing this for him. This Nelly Fox. It's a big White Sox fan. It's got an awesome channel. So this for you, Mitchell. The Nelly Fox. Now, I don't think I don't want to really show the grade there. What do you think this card is graded? I've shown it before. People have seen it, probably already know. But take a good look at it and you tell me what this card is graded. This is why I think that grading is just an opinion. The card is super sharp, off-centered a little bit here. I give you a good look at it. You can see sharp. This is not a grease or anything like that. So take a look at that card. What do you think the grade is on that? I'll show you the back. See if you find anything. See what you think. There's a little thing. I'll show you where the issue is. Right there. See that little thing on the back? That is like a little bent. So that gives the card a 3. So let me buy this card for $40 total as a 3. Nelly Fox, 1954 Red Heart. So grading is an opinion. In my opinion, this card is definitely better than a 3. Probably more like a 5. Even a 6 if it wasn't the centering. But beautiful card of a Hall of Famer and a White Sox great. So that's for Mitchell. Anyway, what I want to talk about is this. The 1927 York Caramel. And there's 2 different kinds. And Mangini showed one of these cards here, the York Caramel. And just a little bit about the York Caramel. I'm going to go ahead and just focus down on this real quick here and share. We'll leave Nelly in there for a little bit, but we're going to focus on the York Caramel, the E120. And this is the Adolfo Luque card. I'll share the back with you in a minute, but I just want to kind of tell you a little bit about it. And the thing with these cards is that the Caramel 1927 York Caramel, there's 2 different types. There's the Type 1, which is this, and then there's the Type 2. The difference between the Type 1 and Type 2 is that the Type 1 is more of a matte finish, and the Type 2 has a glossy finish. Somehow they put like a glossy finish. And the Type 2 is the same card, just with a glossy finish, but extremely rare. These York Caramels, PSA has graded about total. There's 60 cards in the set, and they graded a total of about 1,200 in total out of the 60 cards. Out of the Type 2, there's about 200 total. So just to give you an idea, on this Luque itself here, there's I think there was 18 graded by, I'm going by just PSA. Of course, there's an SGC, so there's a few more in SGC, but not many, not many. So for of this particular card, the Type 1 York Caramel Luque, there's 18 total population of any grade in PSA. The Type 1. The Type 2, there's 6. So that kind of gives you an idea of the difference between the Type 1 and the Type 2. And this particular series, the E210, is viewed as the only true E-series. That means it's the only true caramel card, from the 20s era. It says it's the most sought after set of the 20s for the caramel cards. It was manufactured by a Pennsylvania caramel company, and it's 60 cards. It's similar to the tobacco card size is 1 3/8 by 2.5, and it has of course, a black and white border with the player's name and there and the number there in parentheses. And then in the back, it talks about the player and tells you there, so a little bit about it. It just tells you one little sentence. For example, the Babe Ruth says, Babe Ruth, greatest hitter of all time. So Adolfo Luque is known to be the greatest of the Cuban pitchers. He was the first Cuban pitcher that was successful in the majors. So it says here, this is one of a series of 60 of the most prominent stars in baseball, and it's York Caramel out of York, Pennsylvania. So there's 60 cards in that set. And then the year after that, they created another, they kind of copied the image, and they made a very similar card, but they made it through the ice creams. So this is the Yinglings, and there's also the Harrington, Tharps, and I think there's one other I can't remember at this point. So these were made in the same image the year after they made the York, but they're really not considered a caramel card, even though they look, exactly the same. So it's a little bit different as far as the size. It was 1 3/8 by 2.5. As you can see, it's slightly a little wider, I guess. I'm not real sure exactly, but it looks like it's a little bit wider. Anyway, that's pretty much it there on that. And they were regional issues. So they're also scarce because they were distributed depending on the area, whether it was, Tharps or Harringtons or Yinglings. They're regional companies there. And in the back of these, it encouraged them to return. You had to return the Babe Ruth card if you wanted to get any of the gifts here. So I showed you the Harringtons that I have Babe Ruth, and it says that on the back also. They all say the same. Save these pictures. One ice cream novelty we were given free for each picture of Babe Ruth. So if you pulled the Babe Ruth out of this, you bought an ice cream, they gave you a card. And if it was the Babe Ruth card, then you could turn it back in to get a free ice cream. And if you completed the set, then they would deliver a free gallon of ice cream. And imagine in those days in the 1920s, nobody really had, refrigerators or freezers and stuff. So this was huge. It was like for a big party. But you'd have to surrender all 60 cards. You'd have to give them all back. Or the Babe Ruth may be saved for quarts of ice cream or a $5 scooter. So imagine the Babe Ruth cards, everybody wanted them. So that's one of the reasons that they're tougher to get and they're so expensive. Not just because it's Babe Ruth, but it's because it was kind of one of those redemptions, actually. And the Yinglings ice cream, also a pretty rare set. There's a total of 855 graded overall. So you see that's kind of in the middle of these. And, as far as for the Luque, just to give you an idea, there's 11. So there's 11 of these. There's about 16 of these total pop. And of the type 2, there's only 6. So that's kind of the rarity on these. And just to share a little bit about the history of the York Caramel, the Yinglings ice cream cards, along with some of the other ones, and just kind of give you a little bit quick overview of those cards. And just want to thank John Mangini for sharing his E210 caramel cards, and that kind of encouraged me to go back, look at mine, talk a little bit more about it. So that's for Mitchell, White Sox fan, collector. And here's the again, one more look at the 1927 York Caramel, the Adolfo Luque. And it's a beautiful card because it's an actual photo. And that's what I like about these cards. It's got a big crease in the middle, that's why it's a 2. But You know, despite that, you could see the background there. You can see that's an official scoreboard back there and see what it says there. And it's an actual picture of Adolfo Luque and with the Reds. You see his cap there with the old Reds uniform. And looks like there's a bat there or something there. Yeah, maybe, I don't know. But anyway, it's the same picture here, except it's not as detailed, not as bright, and it's probably because it was taken off maybe a photo off of this. In those days, you know, they really weren't as digital. So that's why the quality of this ice cream card is not as clear cut as the York Caramel. This is more like the original and it's kind of like a copy. So, thanks again, guys. Appreciate you guys watching. Just sharing some stuff and hope you guys enjoyed it. Have an awesome, awesome day. Again, this is Orlando from A Collector's Dream. Thanks again for watching. I really, really appreciate it. Please leave a comment. Let me know what you think. You know, yeah, anything you want to say is truly appreciated, and I always comment back. Have an awesome day. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.